Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Speak Up Sis page. Thank you all so much for joining us today. I know it's Sunday and everyone is preparing for their Sunday services and things of that nature. So if you joined us today, I want to expressly say thank you because I know you took a little bit of time out of your normal Sunday morning routine to be here and support the everyday woman who is refusing to be silent today. So thank you. For those of you who may be new into the space, this is Speak Up Sis, and I am Angel Charmaine, CEO and founder of Speak Up Sis LLC. And for the month of March, which is Women's History Month, we have been highlighting everyday women who make history every single day by sharing her story and refusing to be silent. And today, I already know you all are going to get a sweet treat today from the woman who's going to share. And I'm going to just let y'all hear her for yourselves. But before we do that, I would like to thank our sponsor for today, Jessica Justice Photography. Thank you so much for choosing to help make these 31 days of everyday women's voices heard. Jessica Justice Photography is outside of, it is in Seattle. She's a Seattle area photographer. She can be reached at 253-250-9687. Her email address, if you want to contact her via email, is sales@jessicajusticephotography.com. And you all can just take a look really quickly at this beautiful photography. I love her work. She does lots of nature shots outside, family shots, and things of that nature. Look at that sky. Look at that Seattle skyline there. She's got some amazing photography, some amazing shots. And so if you are in the Seattle area, in the Washington State, Portland, Oregon area, and you need beautiful photography, please connect with Jessica Justice Photography at 253-250-9687. And you can find her online at jessicajusticephotography.com. And I will scroll her website at the bottom of this broadcast, just in case you need some pen and paper to grab it. All right, so there we go. Thank you, Jessica Justice Photography, for sponsoring today's broadcast. Now let's get to the reason all of us are here. Let's meet this beautiful woman. Her name is Kijafa James. How you doing, Kijafa?
I am doing well. How are you, Angel?
I'm well. Thank you so much for asking. A little pollen outside. Got my eyes a little weary and watery, but other than that, I'm feeling fine.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to move out of the way and allow you to have the floor.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Kijafa James. I am a mother, I am an author, and I am the founder of Let's Rap, which is a community for women that are shifting from simply surviving in life to thriving by uncovering past traumas. So, as I was thinking of what I was going to speak to you guys about today, all week I had so many things running through my head. And yesterday, something occurred, and God is just like, tell him that. So, I'm going to just tell you a quick little story, about my tires, right? And I'll tie it all in. But this weekend, I was driving along, and, I'm a super commuter, and I always have my music up really loud. I like it like that. And I think that loud music sometimes maybe drowns out my thoughts, which we'll talk about later. But this weekend, as I'm driving and had my music up, then my car gave an indicator that something was wrong with my tire. One of my hazard indications came on that my tire was running low. So what I needed to do was I cut the radio down And when I cut the radio down, I can hear that there was an issue with my tire, which caused me to have to pull off the highway and, get air and things of that nature. But I had to turn the music down, because if I hadn't turned the music down, I wouldn't have heard what was going on. But my car did give me an indicator. So if my car hadn't given me that indicator, I could have been in a very dangerous situation. So I know a lot of people are wondering, like, how does you listening to music in your car and having an issue with your tires apply to silencing your mind so that you can hear your heart? Well, my mind is loud. Like, I think a lot. And I think most of us do think a lot. And I think we sometimes will try to drown out that internal noise with external things like music or the things that are going on around us, right? So many of us, like I said, we're thinking all the time. And I was reading somewhere that we, as the average person, has like 50,000 thoughts a day. And of those 50,000 thoughts, 80% of them are negative. So when I thought about that, it made me think of, if we're constantly hearing this chatter in our mind, how can we hear what's going on in our heart? Because you do know that your heart speaks, but your heart is humble. Your heart does not speak as loudly as your mind. So sometimes in life, we can get so distracted by the noise that's in our mind that we don't hear what's going on in our heart. Our mind is set up to protect us. When you go through things, especially in your childhood, things that cause emotional turmoil, your mind is designed to protect you. Your brain goes into this protection mode to keep you from harm. That's how God created us, right? But sometimes that protection keeps us bound, because sometimes what the mind tells us can be really extreme. When you go through traumas and you go through things, your brain goes into this, like I said, it goes into this fight or flight mode. So you're living your life in that way, protecting yourself from whatever trauma that occurred or what you may think may potentially occur. So if you're a person like me, what I discovered in myself, that my mind was going so many different directions, that I couldn't hear my heart. I didn't know what was really going on. And when my mind was going into that protector mode to keep me from harm, it was creating fear. So it was causing me to be fearful of relationships, fearful of who I was as a mother, fearful of really living in my purpose, because my mind had told me so many warped things about who I was based off the things that I had experienced in my life. I think of it sometimes like a parent, when we're hiding gifts from our children for Christmas, we'll hide them in a closet, right? And what do we tell our children things to keep them from going somewhere? That something bad may happen, right? So when we're hiding our gifts from our children, we may tell them not to go in that closet because the boogeyman is in there, or something that will cause them harm is in there, even though their gifts are there. I think our mind, and when I say our mind, I speak for my mind. That's what my mind was doing for me. My mind was trying to protect me from harm, but it was really hindering me, because I was in a constant state of survival, but not really thriving, because my heart wasn't able to speak. Well, my heart was speaking, but I couldn't hear it. So how do you listen to your heart? Like, it sounds much easier than what it really is, right? Because to silence your mind, you have to be willing to be still. And when you sit in that place of stillness, then you can hear your heart. You can hear everything that your heart is telling you. And that is what happened to me. When God put me in a place of isolation and I didn't have anyone to talk to, I didn't have anyone to turn to, I was by myself, me and my thoughts. And they were so loud, they were screaming, and they were sending me in a direction that I didn't want to go. So one day I sat and I really really listened, and my heart was screaming out to me. My mind was telling me that I wasn't good enough, that I was not a good person, that I was never going to accomplish anything. My heart was telling me that I was broken. My heart was telling me that I needed to give a voice to my pain. My heart was telling me that I needed to grieve the loss of my brother that happened at 13. My heart was telling me that I needed to grieve losing my child at 17. My heart was telling me that all of these things that I had experienced, all of these traumas that I was carrying, they needed, they needed a voice. They needed to come out. But my mind was in this protector mode, wasn't allowing my heart to speak. So how did I get to a place of allowing my heart to speak and silencing my mind? It's a process that I'm still in, but I'll share it with you. The first thing that I had to do was turn the music down and sit with my own feelings and my own emotions. And I had to own that there was a problem. Just like with my car, when that indicator came on, and oh, the heart gives you indicators as well. You know, those triggers, those things that bother you, those things that keep coming up and you can't figure out why this gets on my nerves. That's your heart letting you know that there is an issue. So when I begin to sit in my stillness and allow my heart to really just speak, and when I listened, I learned that all those things that my mind was telling me, the bad things that my mind was telling me to keep me from my gifts, it was really, it was an over exaggeration. It wasn't true. My heart was telling me that I needed to allow it to break, that I needed to allow all the issues that were in my heart to flow out, because within my heart lie my gifts. Underneath all those issues, underneath all that trauma was my purpose. But how was I able to get to that? When would I ever have gotten to that if I wouldn't have silenced all that noise? Everything that was given, some of that noise wasn't even mine. It was a lot of internal chatter that came from external places. But my heart was gentle. My heart is gentle. And my heart knows everything that I've been through. And once I was able to get a hold on that chatter in my mind, I was able to listen to what my heart was telling me. And when that happened, that is when my life changed. That is when I found my voice. And that is when I discovered one amazing thing, that God's grace is sufficient for all of us. It's sufficient for me. And when I discovered that God has given me grace, that everything I've been through, I don't have to live in fear, I've been able to extend that same grace to myself. Because I think that's one of the hardest parts. When your mind is telling you things about yourself, you begin to believe them. So I walked around full of fear. I walked around full of shame for things that I had already been forgiven for. And once I begin to learn that, and I'm still learning that, it's allowed me to unlearn some of the negative things that my mind was telling me, and it's given my heart a voice. So I'm able to speak freely. I'm able to love freely, and I am able to heal freely. But that occurred by me being able to silence my mind. So I know people like, okay, well, how did you do that? Like I said, I had to get still and I had to get quiet and I had to listen to what my heart was telling me, and I had to allow my heart to break. And that's the scariest thing, because who wants a broken heart? Who wants to feel that pain? But you've got to remember that the word of God says to us that God is near the brokenhearted and crushed in spirit. So let your heart break, because God is waiting for you. And just as your heart knows everything that you've been through, God knows it. God knew it all before. And God is waiting for each of us. And God was waiting for me to just come with all my pain, with all my tears, And once I got a chance to do that, I was then able to pray for myself. I was able to take all the issues that were in my heart and give them to God. I was able to speak my pain and give my pain a voice. But I couldn't have done that until I silenced the chatter that was in my mind. Does that mean that that chatter is gone? Absolutely not. It is still there. I am a work in progress, but I am intentional. How do you become intentional about silencing the mind in your heart? Excuse me, the silencing the noise in your mind, excuse me. I became intentional in my quiet time with God. I became intentional in my meditation. And in my meditation time, I started speaking more positively over myself. I started reminding myself that I am who God says I am, and that all that negative chatter that was in my mind, they were lies. They were lies. That was my mind operating from a place of fear. I had to change what I was feeding my mind. So I changed what I watched. Changed who I talked to. I changed what I was reading, because all of those things affect the chatter that's in your mind. I had to get real with me. And with me being real with me allowed my heart to truly just show up and really speak louder. So now my heart, it doesn't whisper anymore. My heart speaks to me loudly and I listen. And sometimes my heart and my mind still speak at the same time. But now I know that what's in my mind is not true because it contradicts what God says about me. What's in my heart is what God says about me. And when I learned to speak positively over my life and to intentionally reject those negative thoughts, that was when I began to really truly live and give a voice to my own pain. Learn to silence the voices in your head so that you can hear your heart, because it happened to me. And it was one of the best things that I've ever done. Does that mean that I don't hear anything in my mind? No. It means that I made a choice. I made a choice that no matter what my mind tells me, I'm going to go with what God says about me. So listen to your heart. Give your heart a voice. Your heart has something to say. Your heart is holding all the keys, and that is where your God dwells. Thank you all for listening, and I hope that you have a great day.
Thank you so much, Kijafa.
Thank you.
It's amazing to me how tumultuous your life has been, and even the things that I know you're working through currently, but you still are able to speak with such a calm and such a peace. I know people are just like, and I bless God for your voice. I am so grateful that you have found your voice and that you're using it. And you're using it to say what God has for you to say, not what your head thinks that you should say. And not even what your flesh wants you to say, but you are speaking what the Lord is saying to your heart, and you're allowing that to come out of your mouth. And that is a beautiful thing. And I pray that you will continue to walk in this vein. Again, before I let you go, because I know it's super early on the West Coast, thank you for getting up and getting pretty to come on here. If you will, please give the people the information for Let's Rap once again, just in case they missed it when you first came on.
Yes. So Let's Rap is a group on Facebook. We're on Facebook now, and Let's Rap is Women Radiantly Activating Purpose. Created the group because I found that, in personal conversations, that we're all really going through the same thing, maybe in different places in life, and we're all on a path to activating our purpose. And purpose isn't something that we have to discover. It's already in us. It just needs to be like what they say, like a glow stick, when you have to be broken and then you illuminate.
Right.
And that is the point of the Let's Rap group. It's just, we've got to break. Mm-hmm. You've got to break. And when you break, golly, those issues in that heart are going to flow out, and your purpose, it's there. It just needs to be activated. And that's the group. It's just for us to just share. It's to share our experiences that, like I said, we're all going through the same things. And I think a lot of us go through them silently, like even with silence in your mind. Most people don't even want to talk about what's going on in your head. I'm here to tell you, it's a lot going on up in there, right? And we need to talk about those things. We need to be the support to one another. So that is why I created the group. We're here on Facebook. You can find me at Let's Rap. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram under Let's Rap and Kijafa James. And you can email me at letsrap2020@gmail.com. I love receiving emails. I do respond to my messages, not any foolishness. But no, like, I love hearing from people, and I'm just grateful for you, Angel, and the Speak Up Sis platform. I love you like a fat kid loves cake. That fat kid is me, right? But no, I'm beyond grateful for the Speak Up Sis platform. I am very proud of you. I remember when I'm like a Speak Up Sis auntie.
You are.
Yeah, I'm like a Speak Up Sis auntie, because I remember when Speak Up Sis was in the womb.
Yeah.
And I am very proud of you and what you are doing for the kingdom, and how you are giving women like me that would have never got up on a platform and spoke her truth. You're giving space for women to speak their truth. So I just want to take the time out to just give you your flowers, like, while we're still here, because I am truly, truly proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You all, when your contemporaries see, it's a beautiful thing. I'm gonna keep all this together, because y'all don't know.
I know.
Y'all don't even know that this one here was listening to me while all my stuff was in a truck. I mean, nowhere to call my own. And we were fighting out some stuff, authentically finding voices, right? And I remember saying, listen, there's more for you. You are going to talk to people. You're going to help people. You're going to be like, your voice, you're going to be on TV. You go, and she's like, whatever, I ain't trying to hear what you're saying. And so to watch God mend your heart as you have allowed it to break, it's a beautiful thing. So I bless God for you. Oh, goodness.
I know, man. I'm a crybaby. I'm a crybaby. I'm a crybaby.
I know, this is terrible. 2 waterhead babies in one space. It's not a good thing.
I know.
I say again, thank you for saying yes to the Lord, to say yes to this, because like I said, I know what you had to walk through to get to the place to sit here today to say, I'm just going to do it instead of not doing it. So thank you for being a woman of your word, a woman of integrity, and a woman who knows how to push through and seek God's face. So I thank you so much. And before we get out of here, I would like to once again thank Jessica Justice Photography in Seattle, Washington. Remember, you all can connect with Jessica Justice Photography at sales@jessicajusticephotography.com. Go to her website, jessicajusticephotography.com. Take a look at some of her work. And if you feel inspired to reach out, go ahead and do that and allow her to be your photographer. So with that, everybody, you all have a beautiful Sunday, and we'll see you back here at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time tomorrow for day 15 of Everyday Woman Refuse to Be Silent series. Y'all take care. See you later, sis. I don't know if you got something to do, but you can not go back to sleep.
Nope, not going back to sleep. Not going. I already got dressed for the day.
Go get it then.
Thank
All right,
you.
everybody. Bye, y'all.
Bye.